Hey everybody, Marshall, aka Budget Guy RC. Merry Christmas, YouTubers and fellow RCers. This here's just a little Christmassy version of it. Everybody ready for the day? Excuse me. Everybody ready for tomorrow? Or depending on where you're at, it might be today. What you got planned? Anything special? Any new toys you got coming? Mine this time is actually mainly gaming stuff. A couple of games I showed last week on the live edition was the PlayStation 4 Friday the 13th Slasher Edition. Got that one where you can play as Jason as the killer, or you can play as the camp counselors trying to survive him. Merry Christmas, brother. Wishing I was fishing 73. What's going on, brother? And the other game I got that I talked about last week was Until Dawn. Another thing where you're trying to survive a killer. And then I've managed to get PlayStation 4 as well. I've got Star Wars Battlefront 2. I know I've got it, but it's wrapped and I'll be getting it tomorrow. So I'll have my choices on what I want to jump on. I've actually held out even though two of the games are already open where you can see them. I haven't played them yet, even though I've already got them before Christmas. I was trying to save them since they were Christmas gifts. Hadn't jumped on either one of the Friday the 13th Slasher Edition or the Until Dawn. I just left them sitting on the shelf, wrapped up. I figured I had other games I could play on, at least to get me up until Christmas, and then I can jump on those after Christmas is over with and be like, yep. Now, what I do is I don't, like a lot of people, they sit down for Thanksgiving and they watch football while they're eating Thanksgiving dinner. Me, not necessarily. I don't even really watch TV. The only time my TV comes on is when I'm playing my game system. What I do is I go on YouTube and I just watch where they post the condensed version of the game. It'll be like 15 minutes, 13 minutes, 18 minutes, somewhere in between 13, 15, and 18, showing y'all the highlights from the game. And I'll just catch up on all the pro games that way. The only game that I want to hear, pretty much the only one, the whole thing, is like if I'm listening to college. When I'm listening to like the Clemson Tigers play or something like that, I can drive down the road and listen to their whole game, you know. Now, if I can watch it, even better, but, you know, I have been driving, listen to part of the game, and then come home, click on YouTube, and go back and watch the condensed version so I can see everything I heard. Because I'll be like, oh, man, that sounded like it was an awesome pass or great touchdown. I'm going to go home and watch that, you know. But anyway, ready for Christmas. I hope everybody else is. The only thing I haven't done yet is put the skirt around the Christmas tree and put the gifts under it. Hi, Brad. Welcome, my friend. Hope you're doing all right tonight. But, yeah, got my Christmas tree in there. It looks a little naked right now. It's got all the lights and everything and got them on and everything. I just don't have the Christmas skirt, the tree skirt around there, and none of the gifts are put under it yet. I'll do that later tonight because my dogs can be a little bad sometimes. So we got two small dogs and they like to get into stuff. They give me more trouble about getting into stuff than my big dogs did, surprisingly. I had a big German Shepherd Golden Retriever mix years ago. You could put Christmas presents under a tree, he wouldn't even touch it. T. Sully, what's up, my brother? Glad you joined. Merry Christmas to you, my friend, and see you on the trails in the new year. Very best to you as well. You know, where I'm living, it's going to be 55 degrees here in the Cleveland area for Christmas. Well, hey, in South Carolina, we get some stupid weather too. One time you'll have snow right there a week after Christmas or threatening of snow a couple days before Christmas. And other times you'll have almost summertime. Yesterday here in South Carolina, we got up to right at 70 degrees. We had threats of flood. We had flood watch on for 2 days. You know, there was a flood watch for 2 days. We had over, I think it was like an inch and a half of rain somewhere along there. And it got up to like, I think it was 71 degrees one day. And I think it was like 67 the other. Last night, our low was 55 degrees. And tonight, we're going to go all the way down in the 30s. We jumped all the way up to, I think it was 58 today. And we're going to jump down in the 30s tonight. And then it's going to take a turn and start going back a little bit colder again. Ours is back and forth. We can be wintertime one day and almost summer the next. Or at least spring. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Brad. But yeah, our weather in South Carolina is just, you never know what you're going to get. What's up, brother? What's going on, my friend? Merry Christmas to you as well, RCVHX22. I hope you and your family are ready for a good one. I was telling people on here that got the tree up, got lights on it and everything. I've been had that on there for a couple weeks now, but I don't put any gifts or the tree skirt around it until later on tonight. After I get off here doing this talk, a little later on, I'll put the skirt around it and then I'll position the presents because the 2 little dogs we got, they like to get into stuff. So I got to be careful how long I leave stuff out with them. I don't want them messing nothing up before tomorrow. I'm glad you're doing good, my friend. I hope your family's doing well, too. Yeah, I'm just doing this one tonight, seeing what everybody's got planned for tomorrow. Me, myself, I'm waiting on that macaroni pie. That's one of the main ingredients I'm waiting on for tomorrow. That's part of our Christmas dinner tomorrow. That's the 2 times a year we normally have like a macaroni pie, macaroni casserole. Some people call it macaroni pie. Some people call it macaroni casserole. That's the 2 times a year we generally have it. It's Thanksgiving and Christmas. So definitely look forward to both those times. I think I look forward to the macaroni pie and the Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner almost as much as I do to the event itself, you know. Because 9 times out of 10, me and my girlfriend already know what we got under the tree. 9 times out of 10. She'll know like the majority of hers. I'll know the majority of mine. And there might be one thing I'm getting her she don't know. One thing she's got me that I really don't know for sure. And that's about it. Other than that, we don't really go into the surprise that much. We like to have maybe one thing we don't know, but everything else we don't really care. Our son now it's different. We like him to be surprised with everything that's under the tree. I haven't even put his stocking stuffers in his stocking yet. They won't go in there until later on after I'm off of here. Going to a friend's house in Ohio. Cool. Hope you have a good time, my friend. I'm hoping everybody has a great day tomorrow, no matter what you do. Whether you stay at home, help cook Christmas dinner, enjoy it, open presents with the family, or whether you're watching football while eating RC's for you. And I never seen a macaroni pie. You've never had a macaroni pie? Macaroni casserole, basically? Wow. What it is you put like layers of macaroni noodles, and you put down a layer of macaroni noodles, and then you'll put down some cheese. Then you'll put down like another layer of noodles, and you'd put down more cheese. And it's just kind of like a stacked effect. It's kind of like building a lasagna. It's on the order of building a lasagna, but you're doing it with macaroni and cheese instead. It's macaroni pie. I'm busy with my Traxxas TRX6 making stuff. Cool. I know you're enjoying that thing. I know you're enjoying that truck. I mean, I enjoy my HGP 601 still. That old cheap 6x6 from Hingguan that I've got. I've seen a macaroni casserole. I've had that, but I've never seen it with a pie. Oh. Well, I just when the cheese is a little dark across the top, that's why I called it pie. It is actually a macaroni casserole that we're having. I just called it pie because when the cheese gets a little dark or almost burnt sometimes on the top, it just makes me think of a pie. Chicago style pizza. Ah. That sounds good. I've heard they make some good pizzas in Chicago. Of course, I've heard that about New York as well, but we normally do like the macaroni casserole. I call it macaroni pie sometimes. Like I said, just depends on what I'm saying. We also have deviled eggs a lot of times. And then we'll have for our vegetable, a lot of times it'll be like field peas and snaps. My big like from me, my brother. Appreciate you very much. Everyone liked the video. Thanks, RCVHX22, my brother. Appreciate that. I got to get over there and watch that video you recently released. You out there in the muck and everything with your friends. I ain't got a chance to get over there yet. I've been kind of all over the place. They make the best pie, in my opinion, or pizza in the world. Cool. But I actually just got off of, well, a lot of people watch the TV show. Yes, on my birthday. Well, happy belated birthday to you, brother. Happy birthday to you. I may be a little late, but still, happy birthday to you. Nah. I wish I'd been there before. I would have been nice to go there. Haven't never been there. What's up, bull guy? RC videos. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. You welcome, RCVX22. If I had already caught that video, I probably would have already known it was your birthday. And I might could have commented and told you on there. My bad on that. Like I said, when I get done with this live here, I'll go give you video a watch. And check y'all out on the trails. But yeah, I'm just throwing this one up. Kind of a little what's up for Christmas. Seeing what everybody's doing. Seeing what everybody's got planned. RCVHX22. He's working on his TRX6. He's putting some, making up some accessories and stuff for it and doing a little work with it. No problemo, my friend. Thanks. Other people are going out of town for Christmas. Just dropped in to say, hey, got to get out of here. Merry Christmas. Hey, my friend, I appreciate you even stopping in to say Merry Christmas. Appreciate that a lot. I hope you have a great one tomorrow. Whether you're at home or whether you're actually on the road at the time. I hope you're at home tomorrow for it. I think you said you had, you got like, a week off straight coming for it? Or right after it or something like that. But I hope you have a great one, my friend. I'm home. Good, my friend. I hope you have a great one. You and your family. Hey, man, sometimes the stomach rules. You said you need to go even if it is just for the pizza. Hey, man. Before I started the live video, I poured me a cup of cold coffee. And I sit here and I drink my cold coffee that I like. It's one of my addictions is coffee. I drink it cold. I drink it hot. I got two different kinds. I buy it in a jug that you just pour in a cup and drink cold. And then I got it that I make in pert that I drink with all different type flavored creamers that I like. I just like coffee. So I drink coffee every time I do one of these videos. Everybody always wonders what's in the red Solo cup. So I let them know, hey, it is coffee. That's my biggest addiction. Well, man, you go enjoy that pizza. And again, Merry Christmas to you. I appreciate you stopping by, Brad. And I hope you have a good time with your friends. But yeah, anybody else got anything on the bench or anything they're working on right now? Whether it be fishing wise, RC wise, or whether it be game wise, what y'all fixing to get into. I've actually been playing this game. I'm on a site called Steam. And I've actually been playing this other game on there. I downloaded it about a week and a half ago. It's a Game of Thrones. It's kind of like a city, kind of a city builder type game where you build up your troops, you build up your stuff, and addicted to RC, laughing out loud. Yeah. RC, coffee, games, a little bit of stuff. There's a few things. At least all of them are legal though, but still a few addictions, But yeah, coffee and the RC would be up there. I don't know. Coffee might be the number one. Sometimes it takes precedent. I'm like, oh, I got to have a cup of coffee. No, I'm just letting you know. Just wanted to go ahead and tell you to have a good time when you do go there, and making sure you enjoy that pizza first. But yeah, I've been playing that Game of Thrones. You sit there and you got this castle and you level it up and you level up your commander. And as you battle and go through the game, you get more commanders. So you just finished watching the 8th season. Yeah, my girlfriend was a big fan of Game of Thrones. She's seen all of it. Me, I watched part of the first season. And they killed off one of the main guys that I like. And it just turned me away for a while. I may go back down the road and watch it again. And, try to watch the whole thing. But she told me about the game, and I heard her talking about it. And I'm like, I may check that out one day. And I was over on Steam because I've got another game on there that I play called Path of Exile. It's kind of a knockoff or a different version of Diablo style game. And I was on there playing that, and I come off and I was looking at free games to download and play, and I saw Game of Thrones on there. So I'm like, well, I'll give it a try. It had mixed reviews. I'm like, I'll give it a try, see what I think. Downloaded it. You know, you got to upgrade. You got to do a lot of upgrading. I mean, you know, it's kind of a city builder type game. You upgrade your farms, you upgrade your quarries, you upgrade your mines, the barracks, the hospital. You upgrade your castle, your wall, your troops. You build more troops, and you upgrade and get higher level of troops. Your first troops that you can get are all level 1. Then you have to unlock each set of them, and then you upgrade. You get level 2 troops, and then you can join in battles and go battle like other castles or encampments. I'm going to try to fish a couple hours tomorrow. So you're going wishing I was fishing 73, going fishing on Christmas Day, huh? I hear you. Hey, as long as your wife's okay with it, I hope you catch a lot. How are them trout? Or have you ate them already? Because I definitely like the trout you were catching. And I'm just gonna throw a plug out for it. I don't know who all has Netflix or watches Netflix. I just got through with the season they put on for The Witcher, which is based on a video game. Yeah, I like the guy that played Stark, and when they killed him off in the first season, because he was the only guy I knew on the show. And I come in there and I'm like, all right, I've watched this guy in some other movies. This might be a cool show. I'm going to check it out. And then they kill him off in the first season, and I go, really? And it just killed me. I was like, really? The first season? You could have let me get invested a little bit more before you killed him off. You know, that was my opinion, though. My girlfriend said it picks back up and comes into it real hard, you know, in season 2, and that I need to go back and check it out, and that I'll get addicted to it and I'll want to watch it all the way through. I just haven't, you know, gave it a chance yet. But playing the video game does make me want to go, well, okay, I'm playing the video game Game of Thrones. Maybe I need to go back and just start all the way over again, start at season 1, and then just start watching it and see, you know, see what it's like, you know, and go past season 1 and go on into season 2 and see, you know, how they did it. But yeah. But I just got through watching the first season. I hope they don't cancel it. I hope it's going to be more than just the one season. I just got through watching season 1 of Netflix original The Witcher, which is, of course, based on a set of books, from the Witcher Adventures, plus based off the video game series The Witcher. And it's got Henry Cavill, who also played Superman. It's got him playing The Witcher. It only had, I think it was 8 episodes for the first season. I got on there. I told my girlfriend I was going to try to take it slow and just watch an episode or so here and there and take it slow. I lied. I got on there and basically binge watched it. I done killed the whole first season, done watched all that. Now I'm sitting here going, come on, please make a season 2. You know, I want to see where it goes. I kind of like it when they take books, make it into movies, or when they take video games and turn them into movies. I like watching them just to check it out and compare it to, see how they did compared to the game. I may have to check that out. I'll type it in later tonight on Netflix and just see it. If they got anything on there about it. If they got like the first season. Thanks for telling me about that. Like I said, I'll be over on Netflix tonight later on. And I'll go over there and I'll type that in and see if they got maybe the first season. At least, have a look and see what I think of that. So it's called Warriors. Okay. And like I said, in the new year, since I'm already playing this Game of Thrones video game, game that I downloaded from Steam, I may go ahead and jump on the Game of Thrones show and watch it. Disney Plus. Excuse me. The trout were delicious. You grilled them. Oh. I've ate one trout. I've never been fishing for trout, but a buddy of mine was able to go. He had some friends that took him to some river that they knew about that was stocked with trout. He went there. They caught a bunch of rainbow trout, and they, I think they broiled them, and he brought me one. Oh man. Huh. If anybody would have reached for a piece, it would have made you want to smack them. It was just that good. And so after tasting that, I've always wanted to go one time trout fishing. What made it so bad is me and my girlfriend and my son, one year we had a vacation schedule. I'd bought a camper. The camper you know about that was in the backyard. I'd bought that camper and saved up some money. Well, I had a certain amount saved back for the vacation. And we were going to go to this place up in North Carolina. And they had a lake, man-made lake. It was catch and release, but you could fish in it, And then they had a river running down on the side of the place where we were going to camp. And it was stocked every so often with trout. It was like I want to say $5 or $10 a day fee to fish the trout river. But I don't remember them saying anything about a limit, but it was a $5 or $10 each day that you went out there and fished at the trout river for that. And I was stoked all get out to go there, because think about it. I could get up, walk out the camper with some fishing gear, walk over here and throw out for some bass or catch them and release them, take a few pictures of them, release them, or I could walk over there to that river and try to fish for trout. I was so stoked. And then it was like a month or two before we were supposed to be able to do it, the card went down. I think I was still driving the straight drive or something went wrong with it. And I had to spend like $350 on the car. It was a big price that I spent on it. And that ended up coming out of the money that we had put back for the trip to North Carolina to go to the trout fishing and do all that. And luckily, I was smart enough when I did that one. I had that one right up here. I had another one right under it, and then I had a couple more. I had about 4 places lined up. And that one got canceled because it didn't have enough money to do it. The other one, the top one and the second one got canceled. We had that one to North Carolina. And then we had Stone Mountain, Georgia. We were going to go there and stay at that state park. And it got canceled because the money wasn't there for it. So the top 2 got canceled. The third one was the one we ended up deciding on. We at least got to go to the third one. We didn't have to go all the way down the 4th. The last one on the list was like really wasn't hardly worth going to, but it was better than sitting at the house. But the third one was good enough. We were still able to go camping for a week. We went to Anderson, went to Lake Hartwell, and spent a week there camping. So we still got to go a week camping. But we just had to go somewhere closer. We just went to Anderson, camped at Lake Hartwell at a place up there at a campsite and everything. Well, it was an RV park basically, but we had putt-putt golf, we had a basketball court, horseshoes, you had a swimming pool, and there was a lake. So you had, and the whole place was wired with set up where you could get Wi-Fi. So even if it rained, yes, Gabrielle, or Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel. Sorry, I said it wrong. I said Gabrielle. I think it's Gabriel. Yes, it is approximately after 7:30, about 7:38, and it is Christmas Eve here. South Carolina. I live in South Carolina. Yep, ready for Christmas tomorrow. I look forward to the Christmas dinner as much as I do the Christmas. You know, me and my girlfriend will open a couple of gifts. You know, and it'll be mainly about the gifts for my son or our son. We'll watch him open his gifts. We'll have our Christmas dinner, and then we'll basically all do pretty much our own thing. Well, me and her probably fixing Christmas dinner together while he just chills and waits. And then we'll, have a little drink and enjoy all. Have a good one. Oh yeah, we'll have a good meal tomorrow. We'll have fun watching him open his Christmas gifts. Stuff like that. Won't be no drinking other than, regular stuff like soda or coffee or something like that. We're not that big on the drink. Me and her, we rarely drink. But you have a great one, Gabriel, and I appreciate you stopping by on this Christmas Eve. I hope you and yours have a great one tomorrow, and I hope y'all enjoy everything about tomorrow. And if you want to, have a little drink for me. But yeah, wishing I was fishing 73. This one's a little bit more directed back at you. So yeah, unfortunately, my trout fishing got ruined that one time because of the vehicle. I don't drink myself, but eat like crazy I will. Oh yeah. A lot of times I'll fill my plate up, go about halfway with it, put it in the microwave, go back later, heat it up, and then finish it. Or you eat about half of it, put it in the microwave, go back later and fill it up again, and then eat the main meal then. It all depends. Ah, you meant where Gabriel lives. Yep, I hope he has a great one. Some people enjoy, getting family and friends together and having a few drinks while people are cooking the meal. You know, some people drink a glass of wine while they're in the kitchen cooking, or other spirits, you know, whatever they want to drink. Me, at times, I've had wine in the refrigerator and wine at the house. Other times, I've had beer at the house. Other times, I've had stronger stuff at the house. I just don't get into it that often. I think it's probably been, or at least 5 years, or at least been 4 to 5 years since I've drank anything alcoholic wise. Massive Cloud, what's up? Doing all right, my friend? Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Back at you. You and your family as well. Now, I'm throwing this one out at Wishing I Was Fishing 73, if you're still in here, brother. But yeah, that trout fishing trip got ruined when the vehicle broke down, but I can only imagine what it would have been like to go to that stream, that river that ran down beside the place. That's for New Year's. Yeah, a lot of people. Oh, man. I can remember some of the New Year's parties I've had over the years. But yeah, that was a one-time event I really missed. I want to lose Mach 2 spinning reel on North of the 7 channel. Oh, man. Sounds like a nice one, man. RCVHX22. Nice to see you, my brother. Later, my brother. Happy New Year. Thanks for your support. Merry Christmas to you as well. Sent him emails a few weeks ago, but he hasn't got back to me. Maybe it's just taking him a little bit longer right here at Christmas, you know. I'd give him, I'd give him till about, after Christmas, New Year's, somewhere along there. And then maybe if you haven't heard back, shoot him another email then. But he could just be running behind, To be honest, I just been gaming online, watching other people's YouTube videos of what they've been doing, and trying to get ready for Christmas. To be honest. So I may wait. Not sure exactly when I'm going to hit the. Not sure exactly when I'm going to hit the water again or when I'm going to hit the trails again, but I never know. I may just wake up and go, okay, I'm going. Went fishing past 4 days and only caught one largemouth. Wishing I was fishing 73. He says, I've been fishing. Yeah, that was a nice pond you were at. Or nice lake. What was it? 5 trout limit where you were at. That was a nice spot. Like I said, I missed out on that other trip. Well, Massive Clouds is asking you, wishing I was fishing 73. You been catching any? You can tell him about that video. Let him go check it out if he wants to. Now, Massive Clouds, just so you know, sometimes you have to give Wishing I Was Fishing 73 a minute or two. His phone, that's how he gets online. And he says sometimes he has a bit of a lag on his phone. So that's why I give him a few minutes and just sit here and told you myself about it. Because one time I was asking him, was he still there? And it was a couple minutes later before he come back and commented and said, yeah, I'm still here. And he told me his phone had a lag. So now I just wait a little bit before I say something to him again. Went to throw out my kids' pole today and hooked my $200 combo and sent it out in the pond. Managed to drag it out after 5 minutes. Oh, man. I can imagine the look on your face when it went right at that moment when it went and you realized that was it flying out in the water right as it was hitting. You know, that holy. There you go, Massive Clouds. He's answering you back. So you threw your rod and reel in the water accidentally with your son's fishing rod. You were done after that. I just threw my fancy rod and reel in the water. I got it back. I'm going home now. That's it. So that was just like an omen. This day's going to suck. It can't go anywhere but down from here. So I'm just going home. That was your idea. And I'll just go home and regroup and come out another day. Now I'm going to ask you, Wishing I Was Fishing 73. When you're using the, I know you tell me you use a lot of jigs when you're fishing. Do you use the football head style jigs, or which ones do you use most of the time? Yeah, I have several issues fishing today. I might not fish tomorrow. Laughing out loud. I think possibly in the new year, I want to invest in a few of those, just a couple, because we got some bad debris in our lake down here near my house, that part of the lake. When you throw out there and you can get hung up really easy. So out there, I want to get me a few of the jigs that have the weed guards. I want to at least get me a couple of those. I don't know how many I've got left in my tackle box. At one time I had a couple, but I don't know if I done thrown them all out and then, lost them all over the years, or whether I got a few left. I need to check that. But if I don't have any, or don't have but maybe one or two, I'd like to pick me up a couple more jigs, at least the first part of the year. And I want to do some more fluke style bass fishing. That way I can have the hook come through and barely sit up there at the top, where when they bite onto it, they get hooked on. But that way you don't really get hung up much. That way you can bring it across the bottom and fish it kind of slow. Just giving it a little pop here and there, and then reel it slow and a little pop or something. Or either just bringing it really creeping. But I want one that's got the hook kind of hidden, so that way it doesn't get hung up as much. So that place where you went trout fishing, you caught an 8-pound bass there before? Nice. I think at the first of the year, I've got a rod and reel on the back porch that I use beside the, instead of when I'm not using the lures. I got another one on the back porch out there, and I haven't used it. Matter of fact, I haven't used it this whole season. Every time I went out throwing out for bass or went out brim and crappie fishing, I went out with the ones I've got in the living room and just took them out there on the kayak. And I'm thinking next year, I may take that one I've got on the back porch. I think it was the Outback edition of whatever kind it is. I think that's what it said it was. I'm either going to get me a new rod and reel for bass fishing that I'm going to have like a 7.5 foot rod, or either I'm just going to take that reel that I've got out there and put it on like a 7.5. You know, I've tried crawling, Senkos, jigs, spinners, and chatters. Damn things just ain't biting in the ponds and lakes I'm fishing. Yeah, and a lot of times it depends on the colors. Because I watched a guy the other day. He went out. He was throwing spinners. He was throwing jigs. He was throwing chatterbaits. And everything he threw, he was getting hits on. Try a black and blue jig or a glimmer blue fluke. May have to try that. Black and blue jig or glimmer blue fluke. I'll look into that. Yeah, I usually have good luck on the green pumpkin Senkos. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the chartreuse, the pumpkin seeds, you get that cleaner water. Oh, fish want to tear them up. But when you get that murky, like somebody's done stirred up a lot of mud under the water and you can't hardly see this far under the water, that's when a lot of times I'll throw like your shad ones. Or I'll throw like a black and red rubber worm. I need to get back into my rubber worms. I used to do like Carolina rig, Texas rig style rubber worms. That was originally the first thing I started throwing for bass. First thing my dad showed me how to throw was, I think it was a black curly tail rubber worm, bullet weight. Had the bullet weight and more like a Texas rig, Carolina rig style, throwing those out. And then he showed me a hula popper. That was the two things he showed me first. If I'm bass fishing, I use a 1/2 ounce black and blue football jig. And if it's crappie, you're using a 1/80th ounce round head. I use a variety of different jig heads. They're round, but I use a variety of different ones when I'm crappie fishing. Kelly's Plow Jockey is my number one worm. Can't get them local anymore, so I have to order them. Well, has anybody ever on here ever ordered those boxes that you can get, those like mystery boxes, or are those overrated? You know, you got them different sites that sell them online fishing boxes, and you can get them specified to either what kind of fish you're fishing, or you can get the mixture box that comes with a little bit of everything. Like if you do bass fishing and that's all you do, you order a box, a bass fishing box. If you do just crappie, you order that. If you do just catfishing, you order that. Or you can order like a combined box and you get a little bit of each They may send you some crappie jigs, some bass plugs, and stuff for catfishing. Oh yeah, your buddy gets 4 different boxes each month. One of them's called what? Mystery Tackle Box. That's one of them. And there's a couple of other out there. The name escapes me right at this moment of the other ones, but I know one of them is put out by Mystery Tackle Box. You go on there and you spend like so much money to get the base edition. You can get the bigger box for this amount, and then you get the biggest box for this amount. I talked to one guy who was getting some of the boxes, not necessarily Mystery Tackle Box, but some of the boxes. He'd have them delivered every month. He said the only issue is once in a while, he gets tired of getting the same plugs. In other words, he does like mainly bass fishing, and he would get bass plugs in, and he would notice that he'd get a hula popper in, say a yellow one with black spots or something, or red on it, and then the next month he'd get in another one, and he got a little bit tired of that. But me, some of the places I fish, as much stuff as you can lose, if it's a good lure and it catches you fish, to me, it doesn't really hurt to have a backup here and there of something. Like, say, if you got a yellow hula popper, and every time you take it to the lake, you're getting hits on it, and you go out and you sling it just a little too far, you snag a branch or a tree laying out in the water, and you're bringing it back, trying to bring it back, and you pop the line, you lose it, you can't get it. Well, if you're getting it in Mystery Tackle Box, and a month later, they happen to send you another one, there you go. But most fishermen have probably done gone and bought another one as soon as they lose that one. Which, good thing is, if I'm out on my kayak, I just paddle on over there, right up to where that tree's at, and if I can reach it without breaking my neck, I'm going to try to go get it. I know I got hung up. I was bass fishing in the local lake. Threw over here. And I did like this, and I threw it up in there. And I saw a fish jump, and I was trying to throw right there where it was at. And the rod was defective. I'd had this rod one day over the warranty on it. One day. And I threw out. And when I slung, that much of the rod broke off, and it made it go astray, and it went right up into that bush that I was trying to drop it right under. And so I sat there and got hung, and you can see the rod laying in the water, part of it, and I can see I'm hung up. So I just paddled on over there, unhooked my lure, got it, come home, took that rod, took the reel off the rod, went and bought a new rod after I found out that the warranty was out. Lowe's makes a lure retriever. I'm thinking about picking one up. Yeah, some of those boxes can be expensive. But if you live somewhere where you can't find something, it can get you something that you want to try that you can't find, without, something like that. To me, I thought about, down the road getting into that and doing some of them you can do a 3-month where you just get 3 months worth of stuff, like for this amount, or you can go 6 months, or you can go the whole year or whatever. I thought about just doing one of the smaller ones just to see. But yeah, Lucky Tackle. That Lucky Tackle Box is one of the other ones I heard about. It was a Lucky Tackle Box. And the other one, and then I think there was one more. There was Mystery Tackle Box, Lucky Tackle Box. I think there was one more. I'm posting a bass fishing video tomorrow called a 3-pound bass on live minnows. That was wild how you dyed those live minnows the chartreuse color. We added up the $35 box he gets, and it was around $65 in lures. I can't afford those boxes, laughing out loud. Excuse me. Yeah. Massive Cloud said, wishing I was fishing 73. He said he subbed to you and he'll check your videos out. Yeah, if you check like one of his last ones, you'll see when he went trout fishing. That was one of his last ones. But yeah, he fishes a lot. Like he told me, he fishes like every Friday. And he has been for like, I think he said the last 4 or 5 years straight. He's been fishing every Friday. You see, that's the reason I don't use that light. It's a little too much. There was a little bit of a shadow over here, and I wanted to try to clear some of it up. But God, that's just too much. I trout fished in eastern Kentucky, and it was some of the best fishing I've ever done. It's been 20 years ago, but we used rooster tails. You know, that used to be one of my, well, he used to be my best friend. We were best friends for like 18 years, and then we just quit hanging. I asked him a couple times what happened to us, but he never would reply. So, but that was his lure. That was his lure of choice. If we went fishing, the rest of us could be out there bass fishing with rubber worms and then catfishing on bottom while we were there. This guy was throwing rooster tails. I rarely saw him throw anything other than a rooster tail. Oh, yeah. Hey, that's all he fished was rooster tails. He'd get a little bit bigger size rooster tail and throw out for bass. He'd put the smaller ones out there hoping to catch snacks and brim and crappie. Because he had the real small rooster tails like this. He'd throw those out for like brim and crappie, and then he'd go up a little bit larger rooster tails and throw them out for the bass. I think he fished with like 3 different size rooster tails. But that's about all he did was rooster tail fishing. Give me just a second. I'll be back. I'm going to grab something. Went to grab my tackle box. I want to see. I want to see if I still got some in here. I think I still got some roosters in here. I want to check and see if I do. Give me a second. I got on YouTube to look up a video about cleaning water out of this bait caster and seeing you live laughing out loud. Now I have some of these that I fish, different jigs. Those are different jigs I use. I'll grab some more. I did that because the light overhead was making them where you couldn't even see them. And here's some more of my here's like some crappy jigs that I use. And different crappy jigs and stuff that I use. I'm looking for my rooster tails. I believe I still got some. I think they may be on the other side of the tackle box. I'm going to glance over there just to see if I still have any in that part of the tackle box. I'm not sure if I have any smaller rooster tails or not. All right. Now here we go. We'll see if we can't do this differently. All right. There are some of my rooster tails. As you can see, got a white and like gray or black over here. Then you got that green with the yellow tail. Then you got a green and yellowish color one here. Then over here, I got the green, yellow, and orange style one there. Then I got this orange with a black tail. Then you got this one. And then as you can see, I've actually got some fly style. But those are some of my rooster tails. And those are my smaller ones, as you can see. That's my smaller rooster tails right there. Now here are my other rooster tails. There you go. There's some of my other rooster tails. See, here's the bigger one. Now here, I'll get him out in a minute. This is on the order. This is one of my bigger rooster tails. See the body on that one, how long it is? I'll get that one out in a second. But I have, see, I have an orange. I have that same color in a bigger size with the orange, the green, and the yellow and black on it. Got it in a bigger size. And then I have that one there, which is like a silver gold color. Then I have the solid orange with some, I think it's like a gray or black spots on it. And then I have the yellow and black. And then I have this multi-green. And then I have, now this is my biggest one. This is my biggest rooster tail. That is the biggest one I have. Compared to those are my littlest rooster tails right up here. Up across the top is the littlest rooster tails. You see them in comparison to those flies down there. The little roosters. But that's the biggest rooster tail I have. Pretty much. Now, these four up there, see, are smaller rooster tails, kind of like what's over here in this container. It's kind of like duplicates of some of these over here in the other container. But I ran out of room, so I had to have somewhere else to put them. Like I said, this is the biggest rooster tail I have. And this is 1/4. This is a 1/4 ounce. This is the one wishing I was fishing 73. This is the size he says bass tear up. Because wishing I was fishing 73 said they tear rooster tails up, just use 1/4 ounce. Well, that's what that is. 1/4 ounce. Can't see it in the thing, but it does say it right up here. It does say it on there. 1/4 ounce. Now these are a little bit different. These are by Manns. See, a little bit of a different spin on a rooster tail. See, you got the body. And that's in, see? That spins in the water. Kind of like this spinner does on the front of the rooster tail. Rooster tail's got that on the front, which spins in the water. And then these have that. But I've got a couple of these. So, but this is the only 1/4 ounce that I have. No, I don't think I have. And I keep them in these because, see, it keeps them from sliding all over the place. Because it's got that little styrofoam like insert in there. That foam insert that I hook the hooks into, see. That way you don't go to grab one out and you got all 10 of them hooked together. You might have one catching into the one beside it, but you don't have a bunch of them hooked together. Want to see if I happen to have any jigs. Well, I've already got it out. Now, worms and stuff. I got the pumpkin seed chartreuse, the augertail worm, smoking shad, salty superfluke, garlic and salt lizards, then I've got the skirted grubs. I got them in garlic and salt added ones. I've been trying to learn how to skip jigs, and all I've managed to do is backlash and scare fish. Man, I'm going to be honest. I did bait casting a little bit, and all I could ever get good at was the sidearms. I could take it and sidearm it out like that, swing it way out there, and like once in a blue moon get a backlash. But every time I did this, oh man, bigger bird nest than a bird could build. I'm sitting there going, really? And I'd end up just dropping the rod and reel beside me, grabbing up my bait caster, putting the lure on there I wanted to use, and fishing with it. Because that would just aggravate me every time I threw overhead. But the sidearm, I could sidearm them and not bird nest them. I've caught 3 bass at one time. Alabama rigs are awesome when the bass are chasing shad. Now, let's see. Now, and another good reason for me showing some of my tackle, if somebody sees something that, really does good, they can tell me, hey, try that. And then I can give it a try. Here's one of my lizards, of course. Here's one of those grub tails. This one got tore up. It was originally blue. So you see the blue under here, the rattler, and the blue on the head. It had a blue skirt, but that got tore up, got hung up and tore up. So I ended up putting this grub skirt on it. There's one of my other jigs. That's one of my other ones. Then I just have a regular jig right here. Some of my jig heads I have. I have these too. That's the chartreuse. I have them in silver as well. The shad version as well. Here's got one of the flukes rigged up on that just because I lost the part that was on there, the body that was on there, so I did it up that way. Now here's one of my weirdest lures. The front of it. This thing just caught my eye. That purple just, I don't know. It's one of those things where I bought it mainly because of the color. It just was cool. It's weird how things like that, you can just go, oh, okay, I like that. Have you ever caught anything? No, but I like it. couple of spinners. I've got the black one. Got a couple of yellow ones. Then I actually have the orange and yellow. But this is one of my main jigs I think can do something in the right spot. Another little jig. I got to put a bigger body on there. I just put that on there because I lost the thing that was on it. One of my frogs. This is one of them. I got another one. Then I have a couple of these. Then I have a bunch of different bass plugs. One of my newest style, like hula popper styles. I've got other ones. I got a few other lures that I've got to get sorted and put in here. I just haven't sorted them yet. But that's kind of the majority of my, that's the majority of my collection that I got in that one. I still got some other stuff in another tackle box over there sitting to the side that I couldn't fit into this one. But I just carried a smaller one because this is a lot easier to handle. This is a lot easier to handle on a kayak than my suitcase one that I've got. I've got one that's about the size of a suitcase. And that thing, it is not easy to handle. When I used to take it, it had some of this stuff in there, plus the stuff that's in it now. And it used to be like over 60 pounds just to tote that thing. And I was like, no, I'm not adding all that on the kayak. I'll just take part of it out, put it into a smaller tackle box. And then as I use it and lose it, I can put more over in here, or I can swap off what's not hitting on. Like I can go over there and look and go, okay, this bass plug hasn't got me no hits. This one has. I'm going to put a few more like it in there, different colors, and take some of these away. Those guys that live in the southern states are lucky. I see videos of them fishing in shorts, and it makes me jealous. But yeah, I've got a little bit of everything in my box. Sometimes you got what you need, and sometimes it can all be a color. You know, you may not have the color you need, or the right size, or the presentation. Now see, I actually ended up with two frogs that are basically the same color, but the only difference is the trailers behind them. These are different color. These are like chartreuse and white, whereas the other ones are like greenish yellow and black. So I've got two different frogs for top water there. Then I've got a couple, hard baits. A couple more bass plugs to put in there. Another shad style lure I just haven't put in there yet. It's got the hook coming out the top there, and then it's got one hook coming out the bottom. There it is. We got that one too. Yeah, I've got two frogs, basically almost identical. But I've got two frogs. That way, if I get out there and I'm having good luck on a frog and I lose it, they break it off or something, at least I've got another one almost like it I can throw out there and at least still try to, catch something. And then later time, I can always pick up some different colored ones down the road. But yeah, I've still got, like I said, chatterbait style like lures, spinnerbait, chatterbait. The frog, that rubber bodied one, a couple of just regular bass plugs. I got to get these put into my tackle box. I got to move around some stuff and find space for these. This one's got like a propeller at the back. The back part of the body right here spins when it's in the water. Buddy cuts the tassels off. He's had really good luck without the tassel. Well, I saw a guy, what he did was he bought the frog and then he cut it like half of what was there off. In other words, he left about an inch coming out from the butt, about like this. He cut the rest of it off. He said that way you still get a little bit of this, but it's not all that way out there. But yeah, the guy I'm talking about, he left about, I think it was about an inch. He left from the butt part of the frog out, and then he cut the rest off. And then I've got a couple. One looks like that. And then one looks like that. I got to move around some of the plugs that are in my tackle box to have room for those. Or I've got to take them completely out of the tackle box, put them into my other tackle box, and then put some of these in there. Do some rotating out. When stuff ain't hitting right then, rotate out and put some other stuff in to try. See what might be hitting. But now this frog, I'm just going to open it and put it in there beside that other frog. Because they're almost identical. But yeah, I'm going to have to get some of them I'm about to get me a couple more with 1/4 ounce rooster tails. I didn't know I was down to one. That's all I got left. It's 1/4 ounce rooster tail. But I may have to look into them blue and black jigs and definitely look into that Glimmer Blue Fluke. Because I don't have any of the dark color flukes. The only fluke I got is that more shad looking one. And then as you saw, the trailers and the lizards, they're more like a chartreuse. And the last time I went down to the lake, where I went out in the kayak, it was kind of it wasn't the dirtiest water I'd ever seen, but it wasn't the cleanest. It was kind of medium. So you might could have used some chartreuse and caught something, but then again, the darker might have would have done better. I haven't tried taking my kayak on it. I'm over here on this part of the lake. I haven't tried going over here on this side of the lake, putting it out in an actual pier down there that I'm talking about. There's a boat ramp beside the pier. And putting it out there and trying to go around that pier area fishing and seeing what I might can do up in there. I haven't tried that yet. But I'm thinking about next time I go out, just walking right down here. You walk down and you go up into the woods and you go down a little ways in the woods and there's a spot you can fish from where a couple of guys have got a couple of one of them's got an aluminum John boat parked down, and I think one's got a canoe laying upside down out there. And I go down there. I've gone down there and thrown out in between those. It's a nice little cove area, but when I went, it was either the wrong time of the day, wrong thing I was using, or whatever. What was surprising is I threw out a couple of bass plugs, didn't get any hits. Then I took and put red worms on, threw out with a cork for brim or sunfish, nada. And I was like up in this cove, man, it just looked like the massive spot to, do some fishing. And I didn't get anything. I was like really shocked that I didn't even get a bite. I was like really shocked up in there not to get a bite. I expected to get a bite up in there. Whether I brought it in or not, I at least expected to get a hit. Because it was a nice looking little cove. But a lot of times the worst places are the better. Like one of our guys that gets on here and chats with us, he's got a pond where you can't throw out without bringing up gunk. But he catches a lot of fish out there. I need to save up for a kayak. Yeah. Wishing I was fishing 73. He's got one he fishes out of, but he also fishes from the bank or pier. I've got one. I do both. I fish from the bank. I fish from a pier. And I fish from the kayak. And then the Pickerel Hunter, which is Shin RC as well. He just recently picked up a kayak. He's customizing it right now, getting it ready for next year to use. But right now he fishes from just, the bank most of the time. He had an inflatable boat that he was using some this year when he was fishing. But now he's got him a kayak he's going to be using. Yeah, I just ended up going with that. It wasn't made actually for fishing, but I ended up going with that Lifetime Tahoma because the price was good and it's pretty stable for the price. Holds a decent amount of weight for the price. Plus the color. Neon green. Stands out in the water. I'm hoping people can see me easier. I want to be seen when I'm on the water. I don't want to be out there all camouflaged where nobody knows I'm there. I've watched some of the videos of you fishing out of yours. Thanks. I appreciate that. And yeah, I was going to get the fishing one. That was more expensive. Had the 2 rod holders behind the seat that you just set the rods in when you're going out there to the water. And then it had the one fishing rod holder over here on the right for when you're actually fishing and you want it to latch it in there when you're fishing and everything. And it had all that good stuff, and it had the back of the seat and it had the butt part of the seat. I went for the cheaper one because that one was a dark, more of an olive drab green, and my neon green one can be seen better in the water. Didn't you get a fish finder? Yeah. My girlfriend bought me one of the what they call Lucky fish finders. She bought me one off the internet. Right there. Plugs into the other part with that. Here's the rest of it here. That's the float part. There's the part you drop in the water, the sensor. That I could hook to the bottom of my boat if I wanted to. So I could take this, and it's got a bracket that came with it with a screw. And I could take this and mount this underneath my kayak. But what it does is it goes down and out at a 45-degree angle. Like this, a 45-degree arc is the way it goes down and out. But that's where the other end, see, that's one end of it, and that's the other end that plugs into it. Well, what I do is I didn't mount this under my boat because I wanted to be able to control where it was sensing the fish. I didn't want it just going 45 degrees under my boat. You know, I wanted to be able to say, okay, I want to see what's out there. I could take this out and throw it out like 10 feet away from the boat. Let it sink. I've got this laying up in the boat in between my legs, and in that little plastic container that you saw hooked to my boat. And this is laying there. This is tossed over the side. And this is where I adjust it to let it go down how far I want it to let it sink down in the water. And then, like I said, it just spreads out 45 degrees from there. Now, does it work pretty good? For what she paid for it, I think it was like a $30, $35 fish finder. For what she paid for it, yes, it works pretty good. Now, my advice on these, rechargeable batteries. Because there was a guy who had this, who did a video on it and said it died after 5 or 10 minutes. He put batteries in it and it was dead after 5 or 10 minutes. Me, I fished for 3 hours. Still had battery life. I fished for 3 hours on the lake one day. And after being out there for 3 hours straight on the lake one day, I still had battery bars. I still had battery life. So I'll charge up the, I think it's 4 AAAs. I'll charge up the AAAs for it. Slap them in it when I'm getting ready to leave. Get out there, plug everything up, turn it on when I get out in the water, and then I'll just drop it over the side if I want it close to me. If I'm fishing with a cork and I know I want to know just right there where I'm at, then I'll just toss it out about 2 or 3 feet and then let it sink down another 3 feet and just check out that area. But if I'm fishing a little bit further, I'll toss it out a little bit further. But yes, I just let it hang down in the water. I've got the video of where I used it on the boat. And I've got a video of when I used it off of a pier. I just walked out there right over the edge of the pier and just chunked it down in the edge, right there in the water, and let it sink down maybe 2 or 3 feet under the top of the water. And then it goes down at a 45-degree angle and tells you kind of what's in the air. Now, if you see 10 fish on there, that don't mean there's exactly 10 fish in that area. That means you're catching them as they're swimming by. So it might be 4 or 5 of them in their progression of swimming through. And it's just showing you maybe as they're coming through. I went through and looked up the most of the reviews online that I could find about it and everything, what people were saying about it on Amazon, different things like that. And for the price, I was like, I knew she couldn't go wrong. Yeah. Especially if you're going to do some close to your boat fishing. If you don't need to throw that thing out more than, say, 10 or 15 feet away from the boat, then yes, you can get some pretty good accuracy out of it, because say if you're fishing, like if you're dropping down catfishing out there near where you're at, you drop down and you're throwing it on bottom, you can have that tossed over, say 4 feet, 5 feet away from the boat, and then have it another 10 feet down or 15 feet down almost to the bottom, so it would give you an idea of what was down there on bottom. And it does show some of the structure. And on there, it'll show, like the fish, it may show you that, okay, they're on bottom. There's a few feet above them and a couple more up here near the top. It was great chatting. I got to get off here and make Santa cookies with the kiddo. Glad I was able to catch you live. I appreciate it, my friend. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. Hope y'all have a great one. Peace. Hope to see you next Tuesday. No bad luck. You're welcome. Again, have a great one. Now, it says there's 2 people in here besides me. I figure one of them's Massive Clouds, which is fixing to leave, so here's to go away in a minute. And I'm thinking the other one's still wishing I was fishing 73. If you're still there, brother, let me know. And if it's not just wishing I was fishing 73, yep, now there's only one person in here. So I'm wondering, is that wishing I was fishing 73? Are you still in here, brother? You still listening in? Or have you left and is it somebody else? So if you're still here wishing I was fishing 73, let me know you're still here. But yeah, I got a lot to actually look forward to. I got Friday the 13th, Slasher Edition. Hasn't been opened and played yet. That I got for Christmas. I've got Until Dawn, which hasn't been opened and played yet. I got those 2 to look forward to. Plus, like I said, I've got Star Wars Battlefront 2 that's wrapped up that I'll be opening tomorrow. I know what it is, and my girlfriend knows what hers is, but they're both going to be under the tree for us just to open something. But we both know what those are. Her other gift I got her is running late in the mail, whereas her other gift that she got me will be under the tree tomorrow. I kind of think I guessed it, but I'm not positive. I could be wrong. I'll find out tomorrow. But I got 3 PlayStation 4 games to look forward to between now and the new year. You know, I got that to look forward to. I've got I was wrong when I said last week or the week before about these lures I've got coming. They've got a fat round head, kind of remind me of a tadpole or something. Got kind of a fat round head, and then they've got like the fins right here behind the head sticking out. Just two of them. I thought it was four, but it's two. And then they had the body coming down and kind of a squiggly tail. But I've got that coming, which I'm gonna get me some hooks and everything, some ways to rig them up. I may do Carolina rig or Texas rig style with one of them. Have me the bullet weight up top. I think I've got to get me some more bullet weights. I'll have to check my weights. I don't know if I've got any bullet weights right now. I would have to check that. But as a teenager, when I first started fishing, that was the only thing I used when I did a worm fishing. It was the bullet weight and the worm and the hook, you know. And then later time, he actually gave me a hula popper. And I think that was my first top water plug that I ever used. It's bad. Well, maybe it isn't. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's bad or good. I don't know which way it goes. But I can remember my first three things that I used when I bass fish. The rubber worm with the bullet weight. Like I said, with the Carolina or Texas rig style. Those ways of fishing it. The hula popper. And I had a minnow. Green and white. Green up here at the top part, white across the bottom of the belly. And those were the first three lures that I used in bass fishing when I started. Then I learned, fishing with different live baits, attracting them. I learned, using rooster tails and different things like that. Then I learned using flukes. But now, to be honest, with the flukes, I had more luck with striper, with flukes, than I did bass, regular bass. Excuse me. I didn't catch that many smallmouth or largemouth bass with flukes. I caught more stripers with those. I would use like a white-bodied fluke, redhead jig, that combination, or a chartreuse body with that red or pink head jig, or a bubblegum style chartreuse. There was like 3 or 4 colors that I used, but mainly striper. That's what I call off the short, call off the nose, the fluke bodies. And the grub bodies, I mainly use those. A lot of times I put those on as trailers on the back of a jig. And see if they'll help, attract fish a little bit more. But I know some people get on here and they wonder, well, why does he call it Tuesday RC Talk when they talk about fishing, they talk about boats, they talk about gaming? Well, the reason the RC is listed in there is because the channel is called Budget Guy RC. I've told people at times I thought about changing it and just calling it Budget Guy Adventures. That way, when I put up fishing stuff, people understand Budget Guy Adventures. Okay? I'm on a budget. That's my adventures in fishing. Or if I'm RCing, it's my adventures in RC, but it's still Budget Guy. And the games you hear me talking about are not your newer games. They're not the latest releases on PlayStation 4. Yes, I'm behind to the games. I'm behind on them. I don't get them when they first come out. Yeah, all three of those games that I'm having for Christmas are brand new, but they're not just released yesterday or just released a week ago. I can't really throw out $50 for a brand new release PlayStation 4 game and then find out that I don't like it. Me, I got to do the 10, 15, maybe $20 PlayStation 4 game. So that way, if I don't like it, at least it wasn't 50. Because I just don't generally have that kind of pop one at one time. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's why it's called Budget Guy. But the only time I ever can really rack up on something is New Year's when taxes come around, or sometimes at Christmas. You get lucky. Like the other year. Well, my girlfriend, she's the one who got me the PlayStation 4. I had PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, and I had a Sega CD edition. I had all three of those, and I wasn't really playing the Sega CD edition. And the PlayStation 2, I was playing it some. I was playing the PlayStation 3 the most, and the PlayStation 3 went down on me. Well, in the meantime, they had a Black Friday sale where they knocked the PlayStation 4 down $100 off the price. And it was coming with the Spider-Man game. It was the edition that had the Spider-Man game with it, brand new. So she got me that for Christmas because it was $100 off the regular price. So that's how I got the PlayStation 4. And then right after that, I turned around and bought me another PlayStation 3 because I already had a bunch of games for it. You know, I was like, man, I've already got like 25 games on my PlayStation 3. And I hadn't even started on half of them when my PlayStation 3 crapped out on me. So I bought another PlayStation 3 so that way I could get back to some of those games and just switch off between the 3 and 4. I went ahead and sold the Sega CD edition, and I just gave my son the PlayStation 2 and all my games to it to go along with his GameCube and his Wii. He's got the Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Wii, and he's got the PlayStation 2 of mine now. You know, and I've got the PlayStation 3 and 4. That's just like PlayStation 5. If I get one, it'll probably be 2 or 3 years after they come out with it, unless I get lucky and catch it during a Black Friday sale and can get a good steal on it, good deal, you know. That'd be the only way I'd get one, you know, soon after it come out. I thought about getting not the newest edition, but the newer, the Xbox, what is it, Xbox One, I think it's called, or something like that. I thought about getting one of those because I've never had any of the Xbox systems. I didn't go with the original Xbox because it had that cursed ring of death. So I never went with the original Xbox. But I thought about trying the Xbox One. One of the newer editions, you know, that's about, I think they run what is it, $2 or $250, somewhere in that range is where they run now. You can catch them on sale sometimes for under $2. I thought about, you know, getting one of those down the road just to check them out, just to see what all the hype was. But then again, part of me says save that money and put it and just wait on that PlayStation 5 to get a little cheaper and grab one of those. Now, I had the first edition PlayStation 2 I had. It was the big fat PlayStation 2. I didn't have good luck out of it. I got that right after it came out. It was like 6 months after it came out. Didn't have good luck with it. It just wasn't acting right. So I cleaned the system, took all my games off of it, took it and traded it in on the PlayStation 2 Slim edition. Got that one and done had that one over 6 years now. and it was played relentlessly. I mean, like 8 hours a night, just on there gaming. So the PlayStation 2 Slim was the better of the PlayStation 2s for me. And then I got the PlayStation 3. The first one I got where it wouldn't let you install any new games because it would be downloading the stuff to the system, and it would stop at about 90% and just basically freeze up there. No matter what game I put in, it wouldn't do it. Put a music CD in, it would play the music CD. Put a DVD in there, it would play the movie. But the games would freeze up at 90% every time. So I put it in the shop. Guy worked on it for about 2 months. He tried different parts, putting new stuff in there. Everything he tried, he got the same result as me. Told me what nothing he could do for me, that I could come get it. Well, I had done drove like an hour and a half just to take this thing because he was the only guy near me that would work on one that had any reputation. And I was like, nah, I'm not driving an hour and a half to go pick up a broke machine. Hindsight 2020, I didn't know I was going to go end up running up on a PlayStation 3 at a good price, a refurbished one. I wished I'd have went and got mine back because I could have downloaded all the content to a stick, USB stick, and then put it on my new one when I got my new one. So that way I wouldn't have to restart all the games that I was playing. There was I think 8 games that I was halfway or more through. And then when I went and got the new one, the refurbished one, I'm having to restart all those games. So, but I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great one. Good food, good family, good friends, whichever. Peace. This is Marshall, a.k.a. Budget Guy RC. Until next time, we out.